You're on?
Today I'm going to talk to you about Syria and their business culture and how it differs from America. To accurately inform you on the customs of Middle Eastern business, I've taken information from many book reports, articles written by experienced and knowledgeable people in the foreign affairs and Syria field. As a student, you never know where you're going to end up. Sometimes you'll work with all kinds of countries and all kinds of situations. It's important to know about all the different cultures so that you can be better equipped to work with them and give them the best service. I will go over 3 important components to know about Syria people and how they do and go about business. Because of these 3 important events, I picked the 3 most important ones that I thought you'd best benefit from, being the average workday, how their business meetings go, and the hospitality. First, we'll talk about the average workday in Syria. In Syria, their schedules are very different from ours. According to the writer Terry Morrison and the writer of Kiss, Blow, and Bow and Handshake, they have completely different weekends from us. Rather than having Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, they have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off because Friday is their holy day. Also, they have 5 breaks in the day because they have prayer. This is according to IslamicFinder.org. All of Middle East has different prayers, but the times range, so it's important that you know what country you're in and what times they have. In addition to separate weekdays and different times of prayer, they also have many religious holidays. One of these holidays includes Ramadan, which is a whole month of prayer and fasting. It's important to know when these dates are so you can schedule your meetings and phone calls so not to interrupt, so you can respect their religion. On top of Ramadan, they also have 2 pilgrimages they make. They tend to last 3 days, but sometimes the government will extend them if it needs to be longer. On top of that, aside from all their times, they also have different work relations, and it tends to be much different than it is in the United States. There, it's much more personal and laid back. According to Wiley Global's Etiquette and Guides 2002, rather than having long tables that are set horizontally, they have circle tables. They're also much more personal and will ask very inquisitive questions, such as, how are you doing, how's your family, what's it like going back on home, rather than getting straight to business. They're also not opposed to using technology. It's not rare to see your person you're talking to texting or emailing or surfing their phone. In fact, it's thought good to use technology during your thing. You're utilizing your resources. This also comes from Wiley's Global Etiquette Guide 2002. On top of being on their phone during the day, their meetings are not closed like they are in the United States. So often throughout the meeting, you will have employees coming in and asking questions and signing papers and having small talk. And finally, what to deal with when you're staying with your host during business travels. Rather than getting a hotel when you fly across to make business deals with them, you will have a host. This host is normally the person you are living with who is working on the project. They do this so they get to know you better and see how the project will work and if it'll be a good fit. Rather than just going out and getting drinks at the bar with the boys after work, you will have a bunch of different dinners. These dinners are more like a business exchange. Whenever you're at the dinner, do not try and fight over the check. It is considered to be rude. If you really feel like you need to pay more and contribute, you should cut a check or pay afterwards, not in front of the waiter. Also, it's important that you accept the gifts when you first come to visit. They will give you things such as food and little trinkets. It is considered to be extremely rude to deny these gifts. That also comes from Nadel's Guide to Arab and Society. On top of that, whenever you're invited out to do things, and things such as dinner, that does not extend to your partner or your spouse. That's more so to go out with the men and see how things work out in business. Women should not necessarily be brought to Syria because of the women's rights there aren't as great. Women are rarely even allowed to leave the house unless they are fully covered and can often be mistreated. If you do bring your wife, though, she will do things with the women of the house, such as dinner and going around activities with the women. So as you can see, there's a lot of things different in Syria business world compared to the United States way of doing things. It's important to be aware of the different protocols and way of life in the Middle Eastern business world in order to do better business with them. Not only should we be aware of the Middle East and Syria's schedules and work times, but how they go about their meetings and treatments towards their guests, people, employees, and hopes to do good business with them. These facts will come in handy one day if having to do a job with Syria or any Middle East country, so you have a better idea of how to treat and work with them. While there are lots of differences between America and Syria and how they do business, there are a few that stuck out to me that I found to be very interesting and good to know. I hope they will also help you in your future endeavors.